sound of now. The evening session with Adham.
Oh, you know it, baby. And tonight is the last day of the Comedy Week extravaganza here on the evening session. Joining me in the studio, the king of one-liners, Mohammed Shaheen.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, baby. Welcome to the evening session with me, Adham. It is 8-9 right now across Cairo. And joining me for the last edition, or the last, installment of the Comedy Week extravaganza here on the evening session is the king of one-liners himself, Mr. Mohammed Shaheen. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. How are you enjoying the experience so far?
It's so weird listening to my voice, basically.
And we were just talking about, the fact that you're a stand-up comedian, but a stand-up comedian of a very, very, particular type. You do one-liners more than anything else. What exactly are one-liner jokes?
It's basically very short jokes that are surreal, wordplay, stuff like that interests me, basically. That's it.
So basically, on your show, you don't tell stories then you have a punchline or not. It's just one sentence.
It's one sentence with a punchline, hopefully.
Yeah, no,
that's it.
Of course. And it's just one after the other.
Yeah, one after the other. And I also use my guitar in my act. So
very interesting. That's definitely something that we're gonna make you do here on the show. But I actually wanted to ask you.
It's a good coincidence. I have my guitar with me that I got from home.
Brilliant, absolutely. And I'll tell you this: which is more which is easier to have a show of 100 one-liners or a show of 10 longer jokes?
I don't know. It takes a lot of effort to memorize all these jokes. Like if I do a 15-minute set, that's at least 50 jokes to memorize, and there's no segue, so I just have to memorize them.
Ouch.
And act as if I don't.
Fair enough. Well, in terms of musical one-liners, that is definitely something that we want to listen to, and you know what? That is coming up in a matter of minutes. But let's go back to some music first, and then after that, we'll be listening to Mohammed Shaheen perform some one-liners on his guitar. Coming up your way, Robbie Williams, and Before I Die. Keep it locked to the sound of now.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
This is the evening session with Adham on Cairo's #1.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
NileFM.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the evening session. 8:21 right now across Cairo. And joining me today in the studio, comedian extraordinaire, one-liner guru, Mohammed Shaheen, one of the rising talents here in Egyptian stand-up comedy, has actually been touring quite often and abroad as well. We'll talk about that in minutes to come. However, earlier on we were talking about one-liner comedy and how he infuses it with music, and he promised us to give us a taste of that right now. So, Mohammed, the floor is yours. Or actually, the airwaves are yours.
I love stand-up comedy. One day I want to do stand-up in China. Worst case scenario, I'll have 10 million fans. I was at this bookstore, and I found this book called The Power of No. It shows you how to say no to anything you don't want in life. So I didn't buy it. Jurassic Park would have been a more interesting and much shorter movie if Dr. Dolittle was in it. The guy that came up with multiplication were just too lazy to add. It's fascinating how in movies, most aliens speak English. You never see an alien going, نحن نأتي بسلام. Growing up, always wanted to save lives. Wanted to be a fireman or a policeman. But I decided to be an assassin and never go to work. I wonder how a fireman would feel if he ends up in hell. More work. I'm writing a script for a horror movie that takes place in a parallel universe where everyone's diabetic and they get invaded by cupcakes. I want to open a shop called Deja Vu. Then open another one a few blocks later. I'm gonna leave you this advice that my dad always told me. He said, son, no matter what you do in life, ما تضحكش الناس عليك.
I'll join them in that applause. That was very, very, very smart. And it was actually not just funny in an abstract form, but it was just funny, and it had, like, you know, logical thinking. It made me think as well. And apparently you put a lot of thought in your comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was not, like, no, I mean, it's not just something to make people laugh and that's it, but it also, like, you know, it makes them think, I believe. I mean, is that what you aim for, or?
I just aim for it to be entertaining to me.
Entertaining to you?
Yeah, if I find it interesting, I'll say it.
Very, very, very honest indeed. And we'll actually talk about the mechanism that, like, you know, or your approach in writing your own material. You've been telling me earlier on that, like, you know, your greatest passion is writing.
Yeah.
So that's
words, basically. I love words.
Absolutely. Then that's definitely something that we're going to want to touch base on and, like, you know, talk a little bit more. And that will be coming up in minutes to come. In the meantime, though, let's go back to some music coming your way. DJ Fresh featuring Rita Ora, hot right now. Play right here on Cairo's number one.
NileFM.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Joining me in the studio tonight as basically this is the culmination, the very last episode of the Comedy Week Extravaganza here on the evening session. The king of one-liners, Mohammed Shaheen. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Yep, that was one heck of a set you did there with your guitar. Maybe we'll see if we can do some more of that during the later minutes of the show. But for now, you're just telling me about traffic and how, like, you know, it's very, very different from abroad. Tell me what your take on Egyptian traffic is.
I don't know, man. I think traffic jams were created by radio stations because it's really good for business.
Okay, there's a conspiracy theory that I didn't see coming. So apparently it's our fault.
It might be true. I don't know. Like, who's the only person gaining from this? Radio stations.
You might have to. You might be onto something there. I need to talk to management.
Or I might be wrong.
I need to talk to management. All right, fair enough. And but let's say we did not create those traffic jams. What like, you know, who might have done it?
I don't know. Cars.
That's Cars. A good answer.
That's probably it.
Answer.
You know, I was just telling you, like, I'm a huge fan of Superman. All my friends know that. Even though I look like Lex Luthor's lazy cousin. But the thing is, growing up, I always wanted to be Superman. But I would hate if I was Superman in Egypt.
Why so?
Like, imagine Clark Kent going to work, ala Kubrik Tobar. Like, that would suck.
Ouch.
Yeah, like, I'm Superman. I can lift this car and destroy this bridge, but I can't for my secret identity. I would never do that.
You know, I actually had a very, very similar thought in regards to Spider-Man, though. It would suck for Spider-Man to be in Egypt because there's no tall buildings.
Exactly.
Like, you know, darn, I could shoot webs and, like, you know, fly around, but I have to walk because there's no tall buildings. I had a very similar thought about superheroes. Actually, I need to make a top 5 list of why you shouldn't be a superhero in Egypt. I need to start working on that.
That's a good top 5.
Yeah. I promise. I'm going to start working on that one. I'm going to have it ready for you next week at some point.
But sometimes the traffic jams are fun. Like, whenever I'm in a traffic jam, I always think I'm playing the game Tetris.
Interesting.
Yeah, whenever I see an empty slot, I just slide my car in it. But the problem is the lines, they never disappear, man.
They never disappear, do they?
The game is much better.
The only thing I like about Egyptian traffic is it brings us closer to each other. Like, I actually saw a microbus exchanging a lighter, not with the car next to him, but with the car next to that. Like, they actually passed the lighter to the car in between. The passenger gave it to the driver, then the driver gave it to the microbus on the other side, and then it made its way all the way back. It just brings us all closer together. Like, you know, good show of citizenship.
Coming together through traffic jams.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good campaign, isn't it? All right, more with comedian and one-liner guru Mohammed Shaheen to come. Let's come back some music, though. Coming your way, La Rue and Bulletproof. Play right here on Cairo's number one. Yeah, we're back, and it's the evening session with me, Adham, and tonight joining me in the studio, comedian and one-liner guru, Mohammed Shaheen. And I have to say, brace yourself for this one, because you were just explaining to me a few seconds ago a few pretty dark theories that you have on relationships. So let us have it.
Well, it's not relationship per se as the difference between men and women.
All right.
Because I think men and women are equally bad.
Interesting start.
Yeah.
This should be interesting.
But
Go
in
on.
different ways. Like a man would bomb a city and kill thousands of people with no remorse. But a woman wouldn't do that. A woman would keep you alive to make your life a living hell till you wish you could die.
So yeah, they have different tags, but the end result, I think, is the same. Or
Yeah.
the motive, maybe? I don't know.
Just be a good person, I guess.
Fair,
Try to be a good person.
fair enough.
Because, you know, a lot of women like this quote, Marilyn Monroe's quote, you can't have me at my best if you can't handle me at my worst. But why would I want you if you're that bad?
Very good question. Why aren't there more people like you in the world? I don't know.
Just be a good person. Work hard to be a good person. Then I could. If I'm a good person, I'll think the same way.
Yeah, I like that you're like, not just like, hating on the ladies, but you're actually saying it,
I
it
love
goes
women.
both ways.
I really love women. But, the only reason I love women is I'm not gay. But that's not the point here. But,
I completely get it, and I really, really like the fact that you're not hating on just one side, but you're actually saying both sides need to be decent human beings, and then, then you'll just attract each other and have a good life.
Be a good person.
Very, very, very cool indeed. Well, more with Mohammed Shaheen to come in a matter of moments, but in the meantime, Ali Mers and Dance With Me Tonight coming your way, so keep it locked, Cairo.